is Dan Meyer with RCR Wireless News. I'm here with Neville Myers, who's the VP of Product Development at Qualcomm Technologies, talk a bit about the private LTE network. So Neville, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan.
Very good. Let me start off with, I guess, what's a little, what is a private LTE network? I know we hear a lot about LTE networks being deployed now by operators, and I think private LTE networks is kind of a new thing we're hearing more about. Describe, what is a private LTE network for those who don't know much about that?
It's basically an LTE network that is built on premises,
okay.
And it's bespoke for the owner of those premises. Could be an enterprise, could be a port, could be an airport, a logistics hub. And basically what happens is you build a network on their premises. It can be run out of the cloud, so the entire core can be cloud-based. Data can be local using a gateway. Or if the owner prefers to have everything local, you can put the EPC in the core locally as well. The great thing about these networks is it allows the owner to actually have specific types of services that wouldn't otherwise be allowed or supported. Mm-hmm. So for example, not only can they support low data rates in this network, but they can also support very high data rates, and so they can collect data from big machines as well as from sensors and smaller machines as well.
Got it. So it can be more customizable for the user.
Much more customizable, and with the advent of multifier, mm-hmm. which is a technology that runs in unlicensed spectrum based on LTE mm-hmm. In 5 gigahertz, these networks do not need licensed spectrum. They can be built with licensed spectrum. In other words, mobile network operators can build these bespoke networks, but you can also use shared spectrum as in the CBRS band here in the United States in 3.5 gigahertz, or with 5 gigahertz multifier as well in the unlicensed spectrum.
And how does it differ, or how is it similar to perhaps like a low-rod network or some of these other networks we hear about that are kind of targeting the IoT space?
So LoRa and Sigfox and narrowband LTE really target sensors that use very low data rates,
okay. Yep.
And that are in a wide area. So, for example, if you have water meters or power meters that need to be monitored, then typically those would be in a wider area network. In a network such as a private network, what you really want to do is able to be able to connect devices that have variable rates. So the rates of data transmission could go from gigabits per second all the way down to sensors that are transmitting kilobits or even bits per second. And so you need that flexibility within the network. Also, sometimes that data is sensitive, and so you don't want to pull that data back into the wide area. You want to keep it local. Mm-hmm. And so with these private networks, you can do that. And those are, some of the bigger differentiations between LoRa, Sigfox, and some of the wide area mobile network LTE networks. Makes sense.
I guess any sort of examples of where a private LTE network might be used, any sort of like use cases or enterprises that might look to use these kind of networks. Where would it make most sense for which kind of industries would it make sense?
We did extensive research with a company called Harbor Research, okay. And we identified 15 different segments. Segments such as upstream oil and gas, downstream oil and gas, logistics hubs, hubs generally, for example, airports, ports, warehouses, factories, everywhere where you need this quality of service with respect to different types of classes of devices that are in the network. You need reliability, low latency, you need the data to be local, mm-hmm. You need really good coverage, and LTE and multifier give you that really good coverage. Mm-hmm. You need a lot of devices to be supported on the network, and you need security. And all of that comes with these LTE-based technologies like LTE TDD and multifier.
Yeah, as I ask you, I guess, what's the benefit of using a cellular-based technology like LTE as opposed to maybe an unlicensed or something like a Wi-Fi for an enterprise that's looking to go down this road?
It's all of those reasons I've just highlighted. Security, okay. Reliability, coverage, mm-hmm. better performance, more devices that can actually be supported in mm-hmm. the network, and critical quality of service, which gives you a huge number of differentiators over the traditional Wi-Fi type networks that are also deployed. That's not to say that you would rip out and replace everything, but certainly you could create an overlay network that runs a private network alongside the existing networks that are in place.
Makes sense. Great. Well, definitely appreciate the information. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Appreciate it.